It's been a glorious afternoon in the Midlands. The sun is beating down, the late afternoon sun is beating down on the pitch. And it is a brilliant scene that is set for the two teams who have made their way through the tunnel and are coming out onto the field of play, led as ever, Preston North End, by Paul McKenna, and it will be a deafening noise. A wall of sound will enter the Preston players' minds as they slowly but surely walk out towards the halfway line. Preston aiming to spoil the Birmingham promotion party by having a playoff celebration of their own. A win for North End will take them 2 points off Burnley in 6th going into the final game. For the home side, 3 points will secure a place back in the Premier League. That's what all the fans inside St Andrews are hoping for. That is what all the noise is for. The stakes couldn't be higher for both teams this afternoon, but Alan Evin knows nothing less than a win here tonight will do for his side. Team news, and unsurprisingly, after a 6-0 thumping of Cardiff last week, it's an unchanged team. Neil Mellor and John Parkin lead the line in attack. Callum Davidson's still missing with a recurrence of his hamstring problem. Birmingham, they make one change with Jimmy Traore in for the injured David Murphy in defence. The experienced duo of Kevin Phillips and Lee Carsley wait on the bench. The pre-match formalities are taking place, both sides exchanging handshakes before kick-off. The two teams in full then, starting with the home side, Birmingham City. Mike Taylor is in goal. It'll be a 4-4-2 in front of him, from right to left of Stephen Carr, Jimmy Traore, Riley Jaidi and Frank Quedru. In midfield, Sebastian Larsson, Lee Bowyer, Damian Johnson, their captain, and Keith Fahey. Up front, James McFadden and Gary O'Connor. For Preston North End this afternoon, Andy Lonergan is in goal. We're also expecting 4-4-2 in front of him, from right to left of Billy Jones, Yuma Wene, Sean St Ledger and Eddie Nolan. In midfield, Chris Sedgwick, Paul McKenna, Lee Williamson and Ross Wallace. Up front, it's Neil Mellor and John Parkin for Preston North End this evening. The two teams' substitutes benches look like this. For Preston, the substitute keeper is Chris Neal, and there's Chris Brown, Darren Carter, Liam Childers and Simon Whaley. No Stephen Elliott, who's injured. Whaley comes in for him on the bench. For Birmingham City, Colin Doyle is the sub-keeper. Then there's Martin Taylor, Lee Carsley, Kevin Phillips and Cameron Jerome. Not a bad wealth of experience and talent for boss Alex McLeish to choose from the substitutes bench if required. The two teams being announced to the crowd, and of course the television cameras are here this afternoon, and Alan Irvin is just being interviewed moments before kick-off on the big screens here in the press box, which is pretty packed, it has to be said, and it's already for a hugely exciting and promising afternoon of football ahead. We've already seen some dramatic results go in Preston's favour in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship. Cardiff City losing 3-0 to Roy Keane's Ipswich in his first game in charge. Burnley held by Southampton in a 2-2 draw, and Swansea losing to Sheffield United. That result more important to the Birmingham fans, because that means that Birmingham have to win here tonight to secure a place in the Premiership. A draw will not do. But for Preston, currently sitting in the Championship on 68 points, a win will take them to 71. That will be just 2 points behind Burnley in 6th on 73, and 3 points off Cardiff and Reading, who are on 74. Cardiff will have an anxious day on the final day, while Reading, they will have a chance to move further clear on Monday night when they play. But it's all set for a dramatic finale to the Championship this season. Preston know that it's all down to them now in the next 90 minutes to go and get 3 points to keep the final day alive and to really set the paces going for that final game against Queen's Park Rangers. It's going to be Preston who get us underway, kicking from right to left as we look in their changed all yellow strip, and the Preston fans will be behind the goal. Andy Lonergan is defending. A season of football comes down to the next 90 minutes for Preston North End. Only a win will do to keep the playoff dream alive, and it's Preston who get the game underway. Mellor playing it out towards Nolan on the left hand side, and now it's Ross Wallace. Wallace is just coming in field now, looking to try and get away past Larson. He's keeping hold of the ball well, and now tries to play in Nolan. Preston keeping hold of it as Larson crosses the ball in towards the box. Quadru will be able to clear. Preston win back the second ball, and it's Billy Jones trying to find Mellor, who looks to get his head to it. He's still got it. This has been a good start from Preston, but Mellor just overruns it and it goes out of play. Just nearly change really to the Birmingham formation as I read them out before kick-off, because Jimmy Traore is playing at right back, and left back I should say, and Quadru is playing in the heart of defence. Jimmy Traore, of course, a vastly experienced defender. He's won the Champions League with Liverpool in 2005, has a European Cup winners medal to his name, and he is going to take this throw in now, looking long, trying to pick out Gary O'Connor, but there's a foul on him, and Birmingham will have a free kick, which will be in a dangerous position. There's going to be plenty of players for Sebastian Larson to aim for inside the penalty area, as Preston pull everyone bar Ross Wallace back to help defend, and Larson is getting ready with the free kick on the left hand side, and it's about 35 yards out and will be crossed in towards the penalty area. Larson delivers, right footed, headed away by Sedgwick though. Ross Wallace will give chase now for Preston, trying to fend off the Birmingham players. He does well, plays it in field to Lee Williamson, who scored his first goal in Preston colours last Saturday. He's tackled by Lee Bowyer, wins the throw in, which Wallace takes and throws it back to Sean St Ledger, who is of course a Brummie. He's an Aston Villa fan, and this is always the fixture that he looks forward to the most every time he comes up against Birmingham City. It's an extra bit of spice in it for him. All his family Aston Villa fans, and he of course famously turned down an offer to move to Birmingham for Preston, and now he's lining up against Birmingham City, who are looking for a place back in the Premier League. Sean St Ledger will be doing all he can to try and stop that, as the long ball is sent forward now, looking for Gary O'Connor, who can't quite bring it under pressure, but the ball just hits the referee, falls kindly to Birmingham on the edge of the penalty area. The shot comes in, Larson going for it, but the goalkeeper comes out bravely, and Andy Lonergan is able to gather the ball. Larson ends up in a heap on the floor, but that was a good honest challenge from the two of them, and Lonergan comes away with the ball in his hands most importantly. Left-footed, Lonergan sends the ball away, but it's headed forward by Fahey for a Preston throw-in. Alan Irvine, I'm sure, will be feeling every emotion possible before kick-off. It's been quite an afternoon watching the goals go in and the full times confirmed over the last couple of hours or so, and there's still very much a lot on offer for Preston this season, as Wallace just overruns it and it goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Birmingham City, and Stephen Carr is ready to take it. Rob Kelly and Alan Irvine just sort of a few yards away from Stephen Carr as he takes the throw. Lee Bowyer will try and fire it down the line. O'Connor is giving chase. Sean St Ledger is back there as well to try and deal with it, and Sean St Ledger plays it out for a throw-in, and that will encourage the Birmingham fans to get behind their side, who wait for the throw, which is taken by Carr. Carr right-footed with a good delivery in towards the penalty area, headed away by Yomawene. Damien Johnson plays it back in. Sean St Ledger scoops it away, and Eddie Nolan will be able to fire it out of the penalty area, but only as far as a Birmingham throw midway inside the Preston half, and it's Larson who crosses a good ball in towards the box, but it's headed away by McKenna this time. Parkin will try and hold it up, plays it back to Mellor. Chris Sedgwick's running forward, but Frank Quadru is able to head it away. McKenna gets his head to it this time ahead of Larson, but it's out for another Birmingham throw, which Stephen Carr, the experienced defender, is going to take. 32 years old now, joined Birmingham earlier this season, having formerly been with Tottenham and Newcastle, of course, and now hoping to get back in the Premier League with his new club. Mike Taylor strikes the ball forward. Larson tries to rise for it. Lee Williamson just looking over his shoulder, just watching where Keith Fahey is. Preston managed to send it forward for Parkin, as Frank Quadru gets the better of him. Lee Bowyer to Larson. Bowyer was caught by McKenna, but the referee Phil Dowd lets play continue. Carr trying to play it out towards the right hand side, can't quite reach it though, and Wallace will clear. Jaidi has been watched by Mellor, and Mellor will let Jaidi just play it out for a throw in, which Nolan takes, and Mellor trying to just let it run over Jaidi's head, but Jaidi gets the block in. It will be another Preston throw on the left hand side. They venture forward as Parkin tries to follow it up down that line. He's watched by Quadru, and it's out for a throw in, which Eddie Nolan is going to take on the left hand side. Nolan takes the throw, gives it to Wallace, and Nolan crosses right-footed in towards the box. Parkin tries to head it back across the face of goal, but Mike Taylor, who just had the sun in his eyes there as he went to try and catch that ball, was just slightly unsighted, but still able to grab the ball. Taylor knocks it long now for Larson. Been fairly even in the opening 6 or 7 minutes or so, with neither goalkeeper really tested in the opening stages. It's still Birmingham 0, Preston 0. Carr towards Larson on the right hand side. Larson now finds McFadden running at Sean St Ledger, trying to get into the box, but Sean St Ledger does well to stop him. Goes out for a Birmingham corner though, their first of the afternoon, and James McFadden is going to take it on the right hand side in front of the travelling Preston fans. Jaidi and Traore are up from the back for the Blues. McFadden left-footed will cross in towards the 6-yard box this time. I think it was headed away by Sean St Ledger, only as far as Lee Bowyer though, as Birmingham try and keep the pressure on, but they've just misplaced that, and Keith Fahey gives the ball back to Preston in the form of a goal kick, and it'll be Andy Lonergan to restart the game. Lonergan with the goal kick, sends it up towards Parkin. Preston can't keep hold of it up there though, and have to come back towards the halfway line after Birmingham clear. Nolan now steps forward for the Lily Whites, trying to venture forward. He's got players to aim at in the box too. Try to cross it in for Parkin's run, but Damien Johnson can bring it clear for Birmingham City now as Sean St Ledger stops it reaching McFadden. And Preston have it back. It's Wallace shifting it out to the left hand side across the halfway line for Sedgwick, and now Jones who's overlapping. Sedgwick gets it back. McKenna's free in field. Instead Sedgwick goes back to McKenna. Ross Wallace is in plenty of space on the left hand side if the ball can reach him. It's with Nolan on the halfway line now, who plays it into the feet of Mellor, but Jaidi is out purposefully and sends the ball back into the Preston penalty area for Andy Lonergan to deal with. Good defending there from Jaidi, the ex-Bolton defender, of course. Lonergan with the long ball. Jaidi against Mellor this time. Mellor gets the better of him, but Quadru will tidy up. McKenna won't reach it. McFadden will. Birmingham try to break forward. Fahey is to his left. McFadden goes alone, then lays it off to Fahey, who's now cutting in field with a long-range effort. Goes towards goal and sends it wide of Andy Lonergan's post, who I think had it covered, as Lonergan sprawled away to his left-hand side, just anxiously watching it. It was a good break from McFadden, laying it into Fahey, who was always going to try and take it on his own. He was being closely watched, and he was being closed down as well by Billy Jones, and didn't really have a sight on goal.
He tried to bend it into that far corner though as he was looking, but he couldn't quite get enough curl on his shot, and it goes out for a goal kick. Bit of confusion there in the Birmingham back line as Quadru and Johnson go for the same ball. Preston have the throw with Williamson trying to turn, but he was just caught there. Tries to win the ball back himself. It's McFadden who is on it in the centre circle, laying it off to Larson, and then continues his run overlapping down the right hand side. Larson uses that as a decoy though and just comes back in field. Carr on the right hand side will try and cross, hits the backside of Nolan, and then gets the ball back. Carr to Larson, and Larson will try and lay it up inside the 18-yard box, but when he heads it away, Sedgwick will only find Quadru, who's continuing his run forward. Quadru is eventually held up by Sean St Ledger, who was strong in the tackle, and now Sean St Ledger will try and run forward and act as the extra man. He waits in a forward position as Sedgwick on the right hand side controls, tries to cross the ball, and it's blocked by Traore, and Sean St Ledger, who made a run from the back to try and act as a third striker, now has to go all the way back to his own position as Preston try and keep this move alive. Sedgwick to Jones, good football from Preston, back to Sedgwick, crosses the ball in, and it won't quite find John Parkin because Mike Taylor will reach it, and it'll be the Birmingham keeper who will be able to have the ball as Preston move back upfield and wait for the long ball forward from the Birmingham keeper, which is sent forward for McFadden, but Sean St Ledger deals with him well, and the ball goes all the way through to the Preston keeper Andy Lonigan. 11 minutes on the clock, Birmingham 0, Preston 0 in this intriguing championship battle where only a win for either side will do, as it's sent forward. Parkin can't reach it in the air. Williamson to Jones. Jones looks for Williamson, who was caught there, but let play go on anyway from the referee. But eventually Birmingham win the ball back, and it's McFadden who tries to just turn away from danger, but he was fouled eventually, and the referee blows the whistle to give a free kick just in the centre circle, pretty much on the centre spot as well. And the Scot McFadden, who's only got 4 goals this season, does well. It's interesting, having watched the substitutes line up for Alex McLeish, with Kevin Phillips on 13 and Cameron Jerome on 10 goals. It's going to be a interesting proposition. It's Larson who's on the right hand side for Birmingham, but they give the ball away, and it's going to be Preston who have it on the far side. Billy Jones with the throw in. Jones for Mwene, and Mwene will send this ball long. Parkin tries to get his head to it, but Birmingham are able to bring the ball clear with Damien Johnson, their captain. Sees Larson free on the right hand side. Larson sending a long ball forward for O'Connor, looking for McFadden on the edge of the D. He tries to lay it off for O'Connor, but it's a good strong challenge from Sean St Ledger again, and he wins the ball back, and now Preston might break. It's Sedgwick on the right hand side. Wallace is in some space on the left, but Sedgwick can't find a way past Larson, and Birmingham now try and hit Preston on the counter-attack of their own, but Billy Jones sees to that, and it's out for a throw in. Steve Cowell has joined me. Steve, the opening quarter of an hour or so, it's been fairly even, hasn't it?
Yeah, just about to say that, Jonathan. It's even Stevens at the moment, and you know, that's great for us because there's real cauldron of noise when they came out, with quite an intimidating atmosphere, but the lads have settled down. To be honest, I think they played their better football.
Lonergan just having to deal with a back pass there from Billy Jones to put him under pressure, but it's put out for a throw in by the Preston keeper, who kept his calm there as Birmingham try and cause problems again. Traore crosses in towards the box, and McFadden tries to rise on the back post, but it was a Preston defender who cleared the ball away. Nolan or St Ledger, because McFadden will come across for this corner kick, which is in the shaded part of St Andrews as the sun sets behind the main stand that we're in, as McFadden gets ready with this corner kick. left-footed in towards the 6-yard box, and Andy Lonergan's able to grasp it with both arms, and I think he might have got a free kick as well for a bit of holding inside the penalty area from the referee Phil Dowd. It's an extraordinary afternoon in the Championship, Steve, but Preston, there's still all to play for, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I just can't believe those results this afternoon, and it's really exciting, isn't it? And it's going right to the wire, as Alan Irving actually said. It will go to the wire, and if we can get a result today, then what a fantastic occasion next Sunday in the Championship. All the sides kicking off at the same time. It'd be great, but it's just a small matter of us picking 3 points up here first.
Birmingham City 0, Preston North End 0. 15 minutes gone. Lonergan with the long ball forward, trying to pick out one of his strike partners, but it's Stephen Carr who is able to bring it forward. Larson looks into the sun to try and pick an option, but he can't. It's blocked though. Preston get ready for the Birmingham throw, which is taken into the feet of O'Connor. Larson back to Stephen Carr, who plays it down the line for McFadden, backing into Nolan. McFadden twisting and turning, trying to get away from Nolan. Needs some support in Larson, and Larson goes back to Carr. Birmingham just trying to keep hold of the ball here and string a few passes together. Jaidi at the back goes long, but can't pick out a teammate. Sean Sensational heads it away. Larson will try and cross. I think it took a deflection. Lee Bowyer tries to reach it. Lonergan comes and claims he's missed it. Gary O'Connor with an open net, but it's headed away by Billy Jones, who was back there on the line. And Birmingham try and keep the move alive, but Preston was struggling there when Lonergan was beaten to it by Lee Bowyer. And well, Gary O'Connor couldn't turn in the loose ball, saved by Billy Jones, who was pretty much deep inside the 6-yard box, heading it away. It's Traore and Johnson linking up. Traore crossing into the box as Mwane clears this time, out for a throw-in. Birmingham just turning the heat up a little bit.
They are, Jonathan, aren't they? They're just getting ahead of steam going now, and it's the first time they've really got hold of the game since the game started, but the lads are doing well. Harrison and them are closing them down quickly, and they're all doing a great job.
Across towards the back stick, Larson getting there, looking for handball as well, as he turns away to the linesman. It was Eddie Nolan who was back there defending. Larson certainly feels that there was a hand involved as it got put behind for a corner kick, but the assistant on this near side not agreeing. We can see a replay of it as Nolan tries to get his head to it, and well, I'm not even sure Nolan touched it, to be fair. It certainly didn't appear to touch his arm as it was crossed in from that angle at least, and I'm not entirely sure Nolan even touched that, but it's gone behind for a corner kick, which McFadden plays in towards the box. The goalkeeper's come again, and this time Lonergan is able to reach it at the second attempt, just jumping ahead of Sean St Ledger, and eases the danger. Frantic few minutes there for Preston.
Yeah, it just shows the intimidation of the crowd there, Jonathan. They kind of won that corner, didn't they? Like you said, we've just seen it ourselves, haven't we? And no way, like you said, I don't even was a corner, never mind handball, but that's the nature of the atmosphere at the moment.
Wallace in midfield now for Preston, and McKenna just tries to keep things ticking over for the visitors, but Jones's touch has just let him down. Now it's Fahey who is in and just got behind Jones now, and he's trying to sprint clear. He's got some support in O'Connor, but Lee Williamson was back there to defend, and Billy Jones will be able to reach it, and he'll send it up towards Neil Mellor, who's got the job of trying to fend off the defenders, and he keeps on the ball, and he's done well actually, but there'll be an offside flag against Park in there, who just gives up on it, and Birmingham let it go back to their goalkeeper Mike Taylor. What have Preston got to do in this game to try and keep Birmingham at bay really, and try and sneak a goal maybe on the counter-attack?
Yeah, they can't afford to do what they just did, Jonathan, with Billy Jones, the last man on the right hand side, losing possession so easily like that. Other than that, they're doing everything great. They're closing them down and they're not letting them play. They've got some quality players, Birmingham, as we all know, and catch them on the break, like you said, is what they're doing now. With
Wallace to Sedgwick, but Traore is there first, and looks like there's a little knock on the one of the Birmingham players. It might be Lee Bowyer, who's just hobbling around at the moment in the centre of the park. Nolan trying to send it down the line. Jaidi has to be careful because Parkin is with him, and Jaidi is able to clear out for a throw-in. It's a terrific atmosphere before kick-off, loads of expectant Birmingham fans, and you just sense that if things weren't to go their way, then they would very quickly get on their backs of their home side, and maybe that would work against the players, the Birmingham players that is, down on the pitch.
Yeah, it's that magic 20 minutes mark, isn't it, Jonathan? We're nearly there, and we can just keep it down, we can build on that, and the lads are having a great time out there. I think they're really enjoying themselves, and they're spreading it out, they're working, they're defending from the front, and they're knocking it, they're stretching Birmingham, and we're a fit team, so Birmingham have got their hands full with us today.
Jaidi there, just running back towards his own goal with Neil Mellor giving chase. He's able to deal with it, to be fair to him, and it's kept in play by Carr, who will try and send it forward. Yomawane gets his head to it. Nolan comes back to win it and almost releases Parkin, but it was a good header from Jaidi, who will get it at the second attempt now from Sean St Ledger's header, but Sean St Ledger is now just able to hook it back to his keeper Lonergan. I'm not entirely sure he meant that, but it reaches Lonergan anyway. Jaidi in the air is poor this time, and Lonergan, Mellor I should say, will reach it. Jaidi recovers with a good strong challenge, and Sean St Ledger will just knock it back to Lonergan with the message of take your time, and we'll just ease ourselves back into play. 20 minutes is on the clock. It's still 0-0 here at St Andrews in a crucial game that both sides need to win, as Mellor goes down in the box looking to the referee for a penalty, and we'll have to look at that at the replay. Mellor certainly thought he was being held by Jaidi as he tries to go through, and he instantly looked round for the goalkeeper as Mellor was maybe just caught there, just a little tug on his shirt, the referee not having any of it. What did you make of it, Steve?
I think, he was a tug of shirt, but he went down too easy for me, Neil Mellor, and you're never going to get anything in a crucial game like this if you do that. So definitely a foul, but Neil, I think, went to ground too easily for me.
Birmingham have played the ball out for a Preston throw, and Nolan is going to take it, and he just urges Parkin to come over to try and win the ball. Nolan with the throw. It's just headed away by Carr though. Damien Johnson in field. Williamson manages to get the better of Bowyer, and McKenna will find Sean St Ledger. The clever ball into the feet of Mellor, who coolly lays it off to Lee Williamson, and now Billy Jones on the right hand side plays it back in field for Mellor. His touch is okay, he keeps hold of it and gives it back to Jones. It's a difficult ball for him to control though, and Birmingham eventually win it back because Parkin couldn't win it, as Lee Bowyer brings it forward now for the Blues, but Sean St Ledger has had a good game so far and gets the block in. The offside call comes from Quadru, but Preston have got it back, and it's with Lee Williamson, who shrugs off Damien Johnson. He's running forward now, trying to play in Parkin, who couldn't quite get it under control as he was trying to run across the defender, and Taylor's able to reach it. Taylor will send it forward. O'Connor tries to get his head to it, as Lonergan has to be quick to come out, and he spilt it, but he'll be able to get it. It was just the run from O'Connor that just saw the ball spill up into the air from Lonergan, but Andy Lonergan was able to deal with it. Phil Dowd letting play go on. Mellor was just caught in the back of the head there by Jaidi, and he wins a free kick this time. It's an interesting duel, isn't it, between those two? It
is, isn't it? And Neil's getting a bit of a rough time off him, but he's hanging in there, Neil, and he's holding, he's fighting his corner. Neil, he's an imposing figure, isn't he, physically? And but Neil's having a right go at him, and if he keeps at him, I think he might get something off him.
It's also interesting to see Parkin up against Quadru, who isn't the biggest defender in the world, and Parkin, of course, is a huge frame as Mellor crosses this ball in towards the back stick, but it's away from everyone and out for a goal kick. Yeah, well, before kick-off we kind of expected Traore to line up in the middle of defence alongside Jaidi and Quadru out on the left, but Quadru has played in the middle of defence for quite a bit this season, and that's obviously what Alex McLeish prefers, but you would fancy Parkin's chances against Quadru in the air if someone like a Wallace or a Sedgwick can get in decent delivery.
Yeah, good shout, Jonathan, and I thought that was going to come in that situation, but Rust just over it his cross, isn't he? And it's just difficult, but yeah, I think there is something there for us.
McFadden crosses this ball in towards the box, headed away by Sean St Ledger. McFadden gets it back again, and he'll try again to link up with Bowyer. O'Connor tries to reach it this time, but McKenna does his job, and now it's Wallace on the charge now for Preston. He's got Mellor in front of him, who's pointing down the line for where he wants it. Mellor just puts his foot on the ball, then comes back in field for McKenna, who spots Mellor on the left-hand side. Now Mellor needs to deliver in towards the box. Oh, he goes for goal himself. It hits the post, and Sedgwick has put it in the side netting. Dreadful miss initially from Sedgwick as the ball fell to him, but it was Mellor's cross-come shot in towards the box that hit the bar. It evaded everyone. Mellor cutting in on his right-hand side, crossing what turned into be a fantastic ball, and there's Sedgwick from inside the 6-yard box, and well, he was unable to find the target. In fact, all he could do was hit the side netting. A real let-off there for Birmingham at the back, and well, Sedgwick, maybe that shot hit the outside of the bar, but he will feel he could have done a lot better as Birmingham try and come forward now, having been given a real scare, but it's cleared away by Mwene, and Traore will recover. We'll get Steve Carroll's thoughts on that move from Sedgwick and Mellor in a few seconds, but then the ball goes out of play. In fact, it has now. Well, Mellor hit the bar, and Sedgwick with a follow-up couldn't find the back of the net.
Yeah, I looked down at Alan Irving after that move had finished, and he got a massive thumbs up to his players, because it was a quality break, wasn't it, Jonathan? And everything was right. Chris will be disappointed. He should have cut it back really and drilled it back across the far post, to the opposite post, sorry, and he knows that, and he didn't, you know, he just went for the near post. It's difficult to get one in from there, so he was disappointed, but let's not take away them. It was a fantastic move by Preston, and he'll give them massive encouragement, I think.
With a clearance here, just scoops back into the box, and McFadden here is trying to give chase against Mwene as McFadden goes down. The referee points to the corner flag and gives Birmingham a corner kick, and a few of the Birmingham players were looking at the referee as Mwene got the challenge in. In fact, it was Billy Jones who initially got the challenge in, and then Mwene with the final touch as McFadden went to ground. It's a corner kick though now, which Bowyer is ready to take. Into the mix it goes, and was there handball there? Well, the ball was stopped on the line, but the referee has blown up, and I think there was a handball there from one of the Birmingham players, and I think it's Quadru who is shown in the yellow card. It certainly looked as if there was a hand involved as Lonergan was forced to make the save, and well, Quadru is shown the yellow card, and I think that's probably the right decision.
It is. You know, we both want to win the game, but you just don't need that, do you, Jonathan? And you don't need people to do things like that. As soon as he come across, you could see his hand go in front of his head. He tried to disguise it, but that was awful, and I'd be ashamed of myself if I did something like that.
It's something quite similar to Maradona all those years ago, wasn't it? But as he charged through, and well, it looked easier to head the ball, to be honest, but Quadru used his arm, and Lonergan kept it out anyway, and the referee shows Quadru the yellow card, and now Preston have got a free kick in a dangerous position midway inside the Birmingham half, out on the right. Wallace and McKenna are stood over it, and St Ledger, Mwene, Parkin, Sedgwick, Mellor, Lee Williamson all in and around the penalty area. Birmingham have pulled everybody back. We're approaching the half-hour mark here at St Andrews, and the game is still goalless. Both sides desperately need a win as McKenna crosses the ball in. It's headed away by Jaidi. Williamson back to McKenna, he tries to flick it out to Wallace, who's being closed down, as Mellor gives it back to McKenna, who's in a bit of space. Mwene backtracking, but Parkin is still up there, tries to bring the ball down, looking for Williamson, but his shot was blocked. Now Birmingham might be able to hit Preston on the counter-attack, because Preston have got men forward still, but I think the sun just caught Lee Bowyer out there, and he couldn't find his pass, and he gives it away, and Preston can try and regroup. Birmingham still have the ball though, on the halfway line with Johnson, looking for McFadden, who turns, lovely, but ultimately gives the ball away to Sedgwick, who's had Preston's best chance, as Mellor comes forward down the right-hand side now. Parkin is trying to keep up with him and get into the box. Mellor just turns, looking for some more support. Sedgwick with a first-time ball into the box that's cleared by Larson, and will be a throw-in to Preston over on the far side, as Jones now looks for some support from the throw-in, but not sure if it was taken from the right place, and the referee is going to make him do it again, and it will be Jones to take the throw. It goes over the head of Parkin and out from Quadru for another Preston throw, but further forward this time. Preston defeated Birmingham at Deepdale back in December by a late John Parkin goal, to win by 1-0. And Preston do have a pretty decent record against Birmingham over recent years. Many big games between the two. Always seems to be something to play for when these two teams meet, and today is no different, with Birmingham needing a win to secure a place in the Premier League next season. Preston have to win to keep alive those playoff chances going into the final game next week. Preston are at home to Queen's Park Rangers, and a win would cut the gap to Burnley in that final playoff place and make it a really exciting final day for Alan Irvine and all the Preston fans, as Monaghan prepares to take this Preston free kick midway inside his own half. The shadow just extending along the St Andrews pitch as this first half progresses. Here's Williamson trying to go alone as he tries to create an opening, but it's Birmingham who clear, and it's James McFadden who's running forward. But Ross Wallace did well to keep with him, and Nolan will try and keep hold of it himself. He's done well and plays it back in field for Wallace. Good football there from Nolan, who's growing into his position in the Preston team in the absence of Callum Davidson, who's still injured. And now Sedgwick crosses a ball into the box, headed away by Quadru, and that was good defending from the Frenchman, as Birmingham again try and come forward. Really open game, really exciting to watch, and it's Larson now for the home side, who tries to drive a ball in towards the back stick, but that was poor really from Larson's standards, and Preston will be happy with the goal kick. But it's end to end sometimes, isn't it, in this game?
It's a great game, Jonathan, and I think, you know, I'm a bit biased as a Preston fan, but the way Preston have played this game, they look the better side for me. They're more composed, they're controlling the shapes better, they're disciplined. To me, the Birmingham players are arguing every decision. Shows to me that they're a bag of nerves, aren't they? And if we could just get one in front, nick one, I think they'll kind of lose it a bit, the Birmingham lads, because I think they feel like they have to win this game because they've got a tough game at Reading next week. So, you know, but the lads are doing fantastic, and they've just got to keep doing what they're doing and believe in themselves.
With 31 minutes gone, it's certainly Preston who seem to be dealing with the pressure of this game the best at the moment. It's Mellor now with a lovely turn, tries to take it away from Carr, but he can't find McKenna, who is just forced to stretch forward against Bowyer, who goes down, and the referee gives Birmingham a free kick inside their own half, and it's Stephen Carr who is stood over it for Alex McLeish, who was in charge of a side facing relegation from the Premier League 12 months ago, but now they're so close to a return to the top flight of English football, but it's so close yet so far really, because they still need those final few points, as Parkin tries to get away from Quadru. Looked as if he was blocked, but the referee says play on. Quadru trying to play in Traore, who's full of running, and Traore will reach it on that left hand side. He looks to cross, it's just blocked by Mwene and dealt with by Jones. Mwene will send it up for Parkin, who tried to flick it into the path of Mellor, but instead it falls straight to Jaidi. Damien Johnson for Stephen Carr on the halfway line now for the Blues, trying a long ball into the box, but it's too long, and it's straight into the arms of Lonergan. The crowd have certainly quietened down a lot, haven't they, since all the euphoria and the hype before kick-off?
Yeah, it's job done by Preston really, and we've got a magic 20 minutes, but half an hour we've imposed ourselves on the game, and they're just hitting a few long balls, Birmingham. It says to me they're just running out a bit of ideas and they're getting a bit frustrated. Like I keep saying, we've just got to keep doing what we're doing.
Parkin trying to play in Mellor there after Carr's poor header, but it's back with Birmingham. A long ball forward gives Gary O'Connor something to chase, but Sean St Ledger, who was just being watched there. Bowyer were caught Eddie Nolan there, and I think there's going to be a yellow card shown by the referee to Lee Bowyer for the challenge, and he can't have too many complaints about that, can he, Steve?
No, it's just the way they are, Birmingham, at the moment, aren't they? They're arguing for every decision, and again, a deserved booking for Birmingham. That's the second Birmingham player. It just says to me that we've got the discipline, we're shaped better, we're playing the better football, and Alan is going to be really pleased, and if we're going half time at this score, he's going to say more of the same in the second half, because the lads are doing fantastic.
Lee Bowyer's 7th booking of the season, which is no surprise to those of you who know how Lee Bowyer plays his football. He's always likely to get a booking or two, or 7 in this season's case. Jimmy Traore has just given away a very poor corner kick for Preston over on the far side, and this is for Preston's first corner of the game, and it's going to be Wallace who will deliver from the right hand side. That's the thing with Jimmy Traore. He looks the part and can be an impressive defender, but he is always liable to make the odd mistake, and that's what he's done now, and he's given Preston a corner kick. Can we capitalise on the set piece? It's Wallace who is ready with the delivery, plays it short to McKenna, and now tries to deliver towards the back stick. St Ledger is rising. It's hooked back in by Sean St Ledger. Lee Williamson is trying to find Parkin, but Birmingham are able to try and deal with it, and Parkin just catches Quadru, and Bowyer was booked for a similar challenge a few moments ago, and Phil Dowd has set the tone for those kind of challenges, and John Parkin is going to be showing the yellow card for that challenge. And well, Bowyer was booked a few moments ago for a similar challenge. Parkin can't really have any complaints.
He can't, no, but I just think Parkins was he just got there a bit late, where Bowyer's were absolutely cynical for me, but I'm totally biased, Jonathan.
It's a free kick to Birmingham, and it's with Mike Taylor, who's just shielding his eyes from the late afternoon sun as he sends the ball upfield. McKenna gets his head to it. Cedric, who's had Preston's best chance in this first half, tries to play it forward. It was a poor header really from Cedric, but Larson gave the ball away cheaply. That was what the groans were for around St Andrews, as the crowd falls deathly silent compared to what we had before kick-off, as the atmosphere was really reaching fever pitch. But 36 minutes later, the game's still at 0-0, and Preston looking solid. The noise levels have slowly but surely been dumbed down a bit. It would go even quieter if Preston were to get a goal, and here's Mellor trying to keep hold of it. He was just caught there, and he's gone down inside the penalty area, and he took a nasty challenge, and the Preston players put the ball out of play, and there's some concern about Neil Mellor now, who's in the penalty area, and he hasn't moved, and he looks in some pain, and it's going to be a big worry for Alan Irvine and his medical staff with this injury to Neil Mellor. We can look at it again just inside the penalty area, just as he went down, and it looked like Jaidi just trod on his shin really as he was trying to keep hold of the ball. Oh, and Jaidi goes in very strongly indeed and catches Neil Mellor's left shin, and there was a lot of impact going there on Mellor's leg, who is talking to the goalkeeper and the referee now. And well, Steve Carr, what did you make of that challenge?
Yeah, I just seen it like you, Jonathan. It's nasty, wasn't it? It looked awful, and I thought you could see his leg buckled, couldn't you? And you just fear for the worst. And just having a look at the penalty claim again there, and yeah, it's like he did, he just, you know, that's a good toe in, that one. But yeah, he's up, Neil. He's a strong lad, and it hurt him, but it could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? It looked bad. You know, people watching it back home and hopefully listening to us, and they would see that his leg buckled, didn't it? But he seemed okay now.
He's back up on his feet, and he's making his way off the field of play. Parkin will return the ball to Mike Taylor, the Birmingham keeper, and it looks as if Mellor will be okay to continue, although I'm sure he will be just taking things easy a little bit for the next 7 minutes before half-time. And Jaidi can count himself as a very lucky man indeed after that challenge, as Mellor just tries to try a few turns and try and run off the pain, as Birmingham come forward with McFadden. He's in the box, lays it off to Larson. Carr will cross in towards the penalty area, and it's headed away by Cedric, and behind for a corner kick, and it's going to be Birmingham who are going to put the pressure on, as a few fans make their way past us in front of the press box. Not in too much of a celebration mood. It's still 0-0, but Birmingham have a corner in front of the travelling fans. It's crossed in towards the box, but smothered away at the front post by Parkin, and the rebound from Larson just hits Parkin in the chest and goes out again for another corner kick. which Larson will try and make a better fist of this time. Some of the Preston fans don't think the ball is in the right spot for Larson, so the referee is coming across to have a look, but the referee is happy enough, and Larson will be able to take the corner kick. He plays it a lofted ball in towards the box this time, and Jaidi heads over. It would have been cruel justice there for Preston had Jaidi come up at the back stick to give Birmingham the lead, but in the end he sends his header over the bar from Larson's delivery. Just got the better of Yulmawene in the air, and Jaidi sends his header well over the bar, but it's got to be careful with those kind of corner kicks from Birmingham.
Yeah, it's a dangerous set piece, but you know, the lads just lost a bit of a wave since Neil Mellor's injury, haven't they? They just took the foot off the gas a bit, and they want to get back to what they were doing. That's another foul on Mellor.
The referee gives it this time, and Preston will have another free kick in a dangerous position, and they wanted to take it quickly, but the referee has said they tried to take it too quickly. I think Preston are saying that it was obstruction as they were in the process of getting the game back underway, but the referee is going to give them a free kick again. Midway inside the Birmingham half, out on the right. We had a free kick in a similar position 5 or 10 minutes ago. McKenna took it on that occasion. It would suit a left footer from Wallace. There's plenty of players in the box for McKenna or Wallace to aim for. As St Andrews waits, it's McKenna who crosses in towards the box. Mwene goes down. Williamson tries to head it back in. Mwene gets his head to it. Williamson tries to reach it. Was there handball against Lee Bowyer? Yes, there was. He certainly used his arm, and he was trying to protest his innocence, but he can't really argue the toss there. Preston take the free kick quickly. It's with Sedgwick on the right hand side, crosses it in towards the far post. Mwene gets his head to it. It's still loose inside the penalty area. Mwene is trying to reach it. He might fall for Wallace, who fires over the bar, and it will be another chance that goes begging for Preston. But there was a real scramble inside the 18-yard box. Mwene with the chance, and well, the referee had a lot of sorting out to do, but Wallace in the end is the man who blazes the ball well over the bar. And what happened there?
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, like crossbar challenge, Neil Mellor. I don't know if they'll show it, but going back to the incident, I was just expecting the ball to hit the back of the net then, and great pressure by Preston. It just wasn't to be there, but just fantastic the way they took the game, and I've got to sing the praise of the referee as well. He's an intimidating atmosphere, but he's been fair, hasn't he, and straight, and can't argue with any of his decisions so far.
It's going in for the ball against Carr here, and Wallace just caught Carr late there, but the referee lets play go on to his credit. O'Connor trying to weave a ball in field to Larson. It was awkward there for McKenna to clear, but he did okay as Parkin just fends off Quadru, who's out of position now as Mellor now tries to run forward. He's got to try and get there ahead of Jaidi, and Jaidi does get across just in the nick of time to stop Mellor, as the referee just desperately tries to get out of the way of Neil Mellor's run. Mellor will try and prong a long ball forward for O'Connor, but Sean St Ledger is striding across to deal with the danger, and he plays it in field to Wallace. Good work there from Sean St Ledger. He's had a terrific game, and now Parkin is penalised for a foul on Jaidi, and there's going to be a yellow card for the challenge from Ross Wallace on Stephen Carr a couple of seconds ago. And well, the referee, he's letting the game flow, isn't he? He's
having a great game, every credit to him, and I think Ross talked himself into the book there, really, by the way he turned at the referee. I don't think it was a bookable offence, but like I say, the ref's having a great game, but so are Preston. They've been fantastic, and for me, they've been unlucky not to go into half-time at least 1-0 in front. 90
seconds of normal time left in the first half. It's Birmingham City 0, Preston North End 0. Preston have had the best effort on goal in the first half. Neil Mellor hitting the bar and Sedgwick putting the rebound into the side netting. Andy Lonergan hasn't really been tested for the Preston keeper by Birmingham in attack. Here they come now with Quadru, just aimlessly plays the ball up in the air. Sedgwick has given it away. Jaidi tries to hit a long-range looping effort, but you hope would catch out Lonergan, but it was well wide in the end. But Preston have had the best of the openings, haven't they? Mellor hit the bar.
They have, Jonathan, and I think Preston have played the more composed football. They've structured it around, they've switched play. Birmingham, for me, are looking for just down the channels. each time, and they're hitting it long, and they're getting more and more frustrated at Birmingham. And we've just got to take this into half time, and Alan will just hopefully build on it, and fingers crossed we can get something.
McKenna plays this ball back to his goalkeeper as we wait for the fourth official to come out to show how much added time there'll be. There'll probably be a couple of minutes because we've only really seen one stoppage, and that was for the injury to Mellor. And here is Mellor now, who I'm pleased to say has recovered, but the offside flag goes up against him this time, and it'll be a Birmingham free kick. And they're not in quite so much of a rush to take the free kick now, are Birmingham, who are 7 points behind Wolves, who are confirmed as championship champions this afternoon with their result, a point, putting them on 87, which moves them 7 ahead of Birmingham. 2 minutes are going to be added on at the end of the first half. Birmingham have got to be careful though of Sheffield United in the championship, who are just a point off them in third at the moment at the top, as those two fight for that final automatic promotion place. Here's Traore, who crosses this ball into the box. Mawene heads it clear. Parkin will try and spray it square for Wallace, but it's given away as the offside flag goes up, and Preston will have a free kick for the offside decision that has gone their way. And well, Alan Irvine will be getting ready now for the half-time team talk, and I'm sure he'll be fairly pleased with what he's seen.
He will, and the Preston players will get a standing ovation from those fans over there, because I think they've been magnificent. They've took the game to Birmingham, it's the intimidating atmosphere, they've gone for it, they've imposed themselves on the game, and to me Birmingham, the game, they're half war on, they're running out of ideas, aren't they, more and more, and they're just clutching on straws, they're arguing with the referee. I mean, that's all down to us and the way we've set our stall out in this game. Fantastic stuff.
Parkin wins the ball in the air. Birmingham are able to clear it forward towards the halfway line. It's O'Connor who is on the halfway line, but a good challenge from Sean St Ledger. Wins the ball back. Here's Mellor to Wallace. Parkin is in front of him. Wallace goes for goal anyway, and Taylor just sprawls away to his left-hand side, watching the ball go across the face of goal. Wallace fancied his chances there, and well, Taylor was certainly worried as Wallace got his effort away, and it was always going wide really from Wallace, but another Preston effort on goal.
Yeah, I just look at the reaction of the Birmingham players, Jonathan. They're all pointing at each other. Why didn't you close him down? No, why didn't you do it? And that's the way they are, Birmingham, at the moment. We've just really rattled them, and they're just getting more and more frustrated.
The half-time whistle goes from Phil Dowd, and it's 45 minutes of enthralling football that sees these two sides locked at 0-0 going into the half-time interval. Both sides have to win. Preston need 3 points to keep the playoff dream alive, and Steve Cowell, after 45 minutes of action, Neil Mellor hit the bar. Preston will be fairly pleased with the way the game's gone so far.
Yeah, definitely, and Alan Irvine said during the week, sense an atmosphere at the training ground that the players, if he'd have felt this atmosphere a few weeks ago, I think we would have just been in the playoffs now. But that 6-0 win against Cardiff just really boosted everybody up, and like I said, he's sensed something this week, and they took that confidence into this game, and they just don't. There's no difference between Birmingham and Preston, is there? Birmingham got quality players, and it's their own game. But if you're a neutral and you're looking at this, there's absolutely, you would think Preston were the ones going for automatic promotion, not Birmingham.
Half-time in this enthralling game. It's Birmingham City 0, Preston North End 0. And it's Birmingham who are going to get us underway at the start of the second half. And, well, we're just waiting for the fireworks, really. It's been tight, it's been tetchy, it's been tension-filled in the opening 45 minutes. Now in this second 45, both sides have got to go for broke, and Preston, well, they've simply got to win. It's Birmingham who are going to start the second half, kicking from right to left. No changes, I don't think, at half-time, as Birmingham try and come forward now with Bowyer, but the ball is just played behind him. O'Connor leaves it to McFadden. McFadden for Bowyer again. Bowyer sprayed it out towards the right-hand side. Larson will struggle to keep it in play. He has done to his credit, though, and it's back with Stephen Carr. Carr trying to play it down the line, but it's blocked. I'll run you through the two teams in a second. Carr trying to pick out McFadden, who's looking to cross in towards the box, headed away by
Mwene, and out for a corner kick. Super ball in from Mwene as Lee Bowyer was trying to get on the end of it with a late run, but the Frenchman Mwene doing his defensive duties well, and Birmingham starts the opening minute of the second half in a positive mindset. They have a corner kick. McFadden now delivers the Scot, left-footed into the mix, but Lonergan comes and reaches it with Jimmy Traore not too far away from reaching it. So the two teams look like this. Lonergan is in goal for Preston. In front of him, Nolan, St Ledger, Mwene and Jones. In midfield, it's Wallace, Williamson, McKenna and Sedgwick. Mellor and Parkin are up front. Here is Mellor for Preston, trying to shake off Damian Johnson, and he lays it off to Ross Wallace now. Wallace crosses, trying to pick out Sedgwick. He gets his head to it, but Mike Taylor will be able to reach it, and he wastes little time in bowling it out for Keith Fahey on the left-hand side of midfield now. Williamson gives chase. Fahey comes infield looking for one of his strike partners, but Sean St Ledger is able to clear, and it's out for a throw-in. Birmingham have got Mike Taylor in goal. Then it's Carr, Jaidi, Quadru and Traore at the back. Larson, Bowyer, Johnson and Fahey in midfield. McFadden and O'Connor are the two strikers for Alex McLeish. It's Parkin who tries to win this ball in the air, but Quadru is there to defend, and Traore is fouled by Parkin. It will be a Birmingham free kick. Steve Cowell is alongside me, and Steve, well, it's a massive 45 minutes.
It is, isn't it? And we just got to be patient, I think, Jonathan, and I think that's the word. And Birmingham started strongly, but we're still comfortable for me, and I think that's a free kick and a bit dubious, and this is a dangerous one, but we've just got to carry on doing what we're doing, and hopefully the last 20-25 minutes we can really push on and take the game to them.
It was Gary O'Connor who was fouled. I think he just took a knock to the mouth, and Birmingham, with their best opportunity of the game so far, have a free kick very central, about 25-30 yards out. James McFadden is stood over it, Larson is stood over it too. Both are decent from free kicks at this sort of range. Larson looks favourite to strike it, although McFadden would fancy his chances too. Preston have got everyone back inside the box. There's 5 men in the wall to try and charge down this free kick. St Andrews waits. Larson and McFadden stand over this free kick. Real danger for Preston. It's left to Larson, who strikes it. It hits the wall, falls to Larson, charged down by Parkin. Quadru will try and put it back in the mixer out on the far side, but it's just overhit. The offside flag goes up. Preston have a free kick, and in the end, good defending from Preston.
Great wall and great organisation by Lonners, that, and just typifies the way we're all together in this at the moment, and really proud of them. And I just keep thinking, if it had just been like this 4 or 5 games ago, especially the Blackpool game, we won't be in this situation. But the lads have gelled after that, and they're just really showing that they are together, and we're all together as one, and it's just fantastic, and it's great to be here.
Birmingham City 0, Preston 0 at the start of the second half on White's World. Jonathan Breeze and Steve Cowell with you in a game Preston simply have to win. And Birmingham have got a goal kick with Mike Taylor ready to take it. Of course, Preston left it late in this return fixture at Deepdale back in December. We've already mentioned John Parkin's late winner, securing the 3 points on that December day. And Preston strike twice and make lightning strike twice against Birmingham City here tonight. It's a pretty decent record that Preston have got against Birmingham since the playoffs season, of course. Preston have won 5 of 6 against Birmingham since then, but what's gone in the past stays in the past. It's right here and now that Preston have got to try and deal with, and it's a win that Alan Irvine needs from his side tonight, as Parkin tries to flick this on. Mellor won't reach it. Sedgwick tries to give chase into the box. Taylor will bowl it out for Traore now on the left-hand side of defence. Traore leaves it to Quadru. The two of them just hesitating, but in the end it's cleared forward to Fahey, who's not really got too much space, and Buddy Jones is really chasing him. Quadru will have to come and deal with it, and he puts it out for a throw, and Birmingham rather walk themselves into trouble there and Billy Jones takes the throw in quickly, looking for Mellor, but Quadru will be able to deal with this one now as McKenna tries to win it back. Williamson on the ball. He's just being watched very closely by Damian Johnson. Was he being held by Bowyer? He's still going. Williamson then is challenged and then wins a free kick, and Phil Dowd was very careful watching that one, trying to let play continue, and in the end he made the right decision.
Fantastic, wasn't it, by Williamson? He's just typified everything what we're talking about, the togetherness and the commitment of the Preston team. It's just fantastic. Just keep going, lads, just keep going.
Preston with a free kick midway inside the Birmingham half. It's taken short. Wallace to McKenna, who overlaps on the right hand side, now crosses a ball in. There's the header! Oh, and it's sent wide by Sean St Ledger. A terrific opportunity, a glorious chance for Sean St Ledger, the Aston Villa fan who would have loved a goal against Birmingham City, and it's a miss that he will live over and over again from just inside the 6-yard box. McKenna lofted the ball in, he got a terrific contact to it, and somehow he just sent it past the post. That was a great chance, Steve.
Just got it all wrong, didn't he? Maybe he just got up a bit earlier and the ball just ducked on him at the last minute, and it's just maybe, like I say, the ball just cut short. It's just unbelievable.
St Ledger with the best chance of this second half for Preston as Birmingham try and run forward, and again it's Lee Bowyer who is the real nemesis, but it's Lonergan who is able to reach it. So Mellor hit the bar in the first half, and Cedric couldn't follow it up with a tough looking rebound, and now Sean St Ledger has just put a free header wide of the post from McKenna's good cross. He's got some defending to do now because it's Gary O'Connor who is putting him under pressure, but the free kick has gone Preston's way. Now Sean St Ledger won't let that chance get to him, will he? He's just trying to G himself up again now. He will want to play the rest of the game and not really want to dwell on that missed opportunity.
No, he's a great guy, Ledger. I met him on Tuesday at supporters do. He's just Mr. P&E for me, and he won't. The lads won't get on him either because he's just, how many times has he saved us? You know, it's just fantastic the way he moved into that position anyway. You know, and but it's just, maybe it's, you know, it's just gone now. We just got to get on with it. But no, Ledge won't let it bother him.
There's Mellor trying to find Wallace out on the left hand side, but Stephen Carr is stronger going forward, and now he tries to take on Nolan too, as Larson was just caught there off the ball, and he's gone down, and he's indicating that his shoulders just might have been dislocated just as he was trying to run forward, and instantly he went down and signalled that he's got to come off, and now the physio is going to come on, and he said he's got to come off straight away, but that looks as if that's what's going to happen, because Larson number is up from the fourth official, and Cameron Jerome is set to come on. Cameron Jerome has got 10 goals this season, and well, certainly all the Birmingham fans are on their feet as Larson makes his way off the field, and Cameron Jerome comes on in his place. Jerome's a dangerous player.
He is, isn't he? He was phenomenal, wasn't he, at Cardiff, and he's dangerous, but maybe it's a right move for us because it's another forward and we can get at them a bit more now, hopefully.
We'll just see how their formation maybe changes as McFadden plays this ball in, and Preston try and deal with it. You'd imagine McFadden might go and play out slightly wider with Cameron Jerome. Oh, Preston have won the ball back on the halfway line. It's 4 against 2. It's Cedric leading the charge forward. Cedric trying to burst into the penalty area. He's just been pushed wide though. Quadru has done his good defending as Billy Jones tries to cross this ball, and the chance is really gone. Might fall for Wallace now. Wallace will try and drive it forward. It's blocked by Bowyer, and Mike Taylor will gather it. But that was a real chance for Preston with Cedric leading the charge, but he just couldn't quite play the ball in as Billy Jones heads it forward. Damian Johnson, Fahey reaches it first as he just gets away from Cedric. Infield to Johnson. Johnson on the halfway line looks for McFadden and then gets it back from Lee Bowyer. Birmingham turning the style on now as the sun just pops out again and causes a few problems for Lonergan in his own goal mouth. And Preston have got to backtrack and defend. Nolan is getting back there. The ball hasn't got out of play. Nolan will have to retrieve, and it'll be A long ball forward from him, trying to pick out Mello. Oh, Jaidi's missed it. Mello can't find parking, and Taylor will reach it. But it's been a couple of good chances for Preston in this second half, haven't there, Steve?
Just feel it's coming, Jonathan, don't you? And it's just been fantastic, and the lads are disappointed they were not in front. But it's just Sedgwick who was disappointed as well. He just needed a flick inside, but he decided to take him on, and he took the wrong option, the wrong decision by Chris. But the way they're fighting and they're supporting each other, and they're harassing Birmingham. Birmingham are really lucky for me to still be drawing this game.
Just looking at a replay of the chance Sedgwick had. He had Williamson, Mellor and Parkin all to his left, but he was forced out wide, and the chance was gone. 35 minutes left. Birmingham City 0, Preston 0. Jaidi heads the ball away. McFadden tries to reach it. It is McFadden who's playing in a deeper role now, with Larsson being withdrawn. Cameron Jerome is a second striker alongside O'Connor, and maybe poignantly it looks as if Chris Brown is getting himself ready to come on for Preston shortly. St Ledger has just caught in the face, but he's quickly back up on his feet. He has to be too, because it's McFadden crossing the ball in from the right hand side. There goes the header, and it's Fahey who scored for Birmingham City in what could be a goal that earns them in the Premier League next season. For Preston North End, it could be the end of any playoff chances. Keith Fahey gets his third goal of the season, and it could spell the end for Preston North End this season in their hopes of reaching the playoffs. Birmingham City 1, Preston North End 0. The goal against the run of play, but it's so important for the home side, who sense the Premier League is only 32 minutes away now. Steve Cowell, disappointment.
Yeah, Taylor 2 headers, and Nick Sedges missed header and he put it in. Sean St Ledger's missed header, and but Chris Sedgwick's going to be really disappointed because he lost his man, didn't he? And he ghosted him. But like you said, you hit the nail on the head, Jonathan. That's against run of play. Preston don't deserve that. They've been absolutely fantastic, and they'll come back and they'll have a real go now. But that's a travesty of justice as far as I'm concerned.
Cameron Jerome now giving chase. Sean St Ledger is there to defend. Preston have made a change in the midst of all the celebrations, because Chris Brown is on for John Parkin to try and get Preston 2 goals in the final half an hour. But it's Birmingham that are coming forward, and it's Cameron Jerome who lays it off now for O'Connor to strike, but he sent that well wide, and it's out for a goal kick. What will Brown try and change for Preston in the next 32 minutes or so? On for Parkin.
Yeah, I like Chris. We're talking we might hit half time, get Chris Brown on. He were fantastic at Doncaster, but it's just really gut-wrenching. I'm sick to the stomach with this scoreline at the moment, Jonathan, because we don't deserve it. We've been fantastic. We've been better team by a country mile, and I'm absolutely gutted.
I think the goal has come from Birmingham's only real effort on goal as well in the whole match, which just goes to show that Preston have had chances, and as Steve said, I'm sure they'll have more chances in the last half an hour or so. But just to reiterate, Preston have got to win this game to keep alive playoff hopes going into the final game next weekend. It's a throw-in for Nolan, but it's headed out by Carr. Preston have it again. It's with Eddie Nolan, who tries to find Ross Wallace. Nolan gets away from his man, tries to keep it in play, but it's just gone over the line and out for a throw-in. And while all of a sudden St Andrews is bouncing again, fans on their feet, the celebrations are really starting to kick off, and well, they could seal a place back in the Premier League here this afternoon, and that will be disaster for Preston if they were to extend their lead with the last half an hour. But Cameron Jerome is tackled and won't be able to get the chance. Lee Williamson is caught by Lee Bowyer now. The two go head to head. The referee is got a bit of sorting out to do. Lee Bowyer has already been booked, incidentally. Lee Williamson is shown a straight red card, as is Lee Bowyer. The two shown red for the challenge, which was off the ball, and both teams are going to go down to 10. I have to say, I didn't see how that incident started. All I saw was the two players going head to head at the end, but they're now going to walk off the field together. The referee brandishing 2 red cards. Bowyer was already booked anyway, and they're trudging off down the tunnel together. And in the last half an hour, both these 2 teams are going to be down to 10 men. Here's the replay. It was a challenge which Williamson won the ball on. Then he was just shoved, it looked like, by Bowyer. The 2 of them fall to the ground and have a little bit of a wrestling match. Bowyer has got hold of his shirt, and well, I'm not entirely sure what Williamson has done wrong. Bowyer's still got hold of his shirt. The 2 come head to head, and then the red cards are shown. What did you make of that one?
It's absolutely disgraced by Lee Bowyer, and it's another travesty of justice. Williamson was trying to defend himself and he was being attacked. That was in the street. The police arrest Bowyer for that. You know, a physical assault. The guy was never swung a punch. He just tried to get him away from him, and he's got sent off for that. I mean, the referee's got to look at that again, and he's an absolute disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace as a person, Lee Bowyer, for me, and I just can't believe that decision, and it's just what you're going to get here. But words fail me about that guy. You just saw it. Everybody at home would have saw that. To me, it's physical assault, and the guy's trying to defend himself, and he gets sent off.
If you haven't seen that on the telly as yet, well, make sure you do, because it was an amazing decision. It was literally Lee Williamson was on the floor as Lee Bowyer just wouldn't let go of his shirt, and there was obviously words being exchanged, and Bowyer continued to mouth off. The 2 go head to head, but it wasn't really any sort of headbutt or anything from either. And well, Bowyer, you would have expected, would have at least got a yellow card, and he would have been walking. But Lee Williamson to have been shown a straight red as well is very harsh indeed. But nevertheless, that's what's happened, and both teams are now down to 10, and there's still the best part of half an hour to go. And it's Nolan who's trying to run forward for Preston, but he was just caught there, but he's lost the ball too. And it's going to be a ball for Cameron Jerome to try and reach for. It's with Preston though and Brown inside the Birmingham half. Wallace is in front of him. Jones is overlapping on the right hand side. Jones has got Traore in front of him, plays it back in field to Wallace. Wallace tries to cross in. Jaidi heads it away ahead of Chris Brown. Cameron Jerome tries to hold the ball up, but Wallace has got it back. He's still got plenty to aim at as well as he tries to fire into the feet of Mellor. Wallace though puts it out for a throw in this time, just trying to keep Jerome away from the ball. And Birmingham will have to throw, but there's not going to be any real rush. And the referee tells them to get a move on. Well, we said Phil Dowd had such a good game, but we're just looking again at the incident between Bowyer and Williamson, and it's Williamson who's trying to get away from Bowyer really, and well, there's a bit of pushing and shoving that's going on between the 2 of them, and both are shown a red card. What's Jaidi doing now? He's just trying to knee this ball away from danger, and Mellor's got it back, keeps his feet as well. McKenna to Jones. There's only really Brown for him to aim at though in the box, and Jones lays it off to Cedric, but he can't keep it in play. Jones apologises, but it's another chance for Preston that comes to nothing. And well, there's still 25 minutes, over 25 minutes to go, Steve, but we really need a goal quickly to set up the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think Lee Bowyer's took one of our better players out of the game, and maybe he's done it deliberately, I don't know, but I just can't get my head around it. It's Preston fans like me who just sat there just bewildered with that decision. It's just like you said, you've got it right, Jonathan. It should have been a yellow for Bowyer, nothing for Williamson. I mean, now the referee can just give him straight red, and he gave it first to Williamson, didn't he? And the guy was just trying to walk away from the incident. It's just scandalous, really.
And well, the 2 of them had to walk side by side down the tunnel as well after they were shown a red card. Farcical situation, really. There wasn't a great deal being said between the 2 as they kept their heads down and headed off into the dressing rooms. Lonergan's got a cap from somewhere to shield his eyes from the sun, because it is causing a few problems at that end of the pitch as the sun sets in this afternoon. 24,825 the attendance inside St Andrews as they try and celebrate a place in the Premier League with a cross in towards the box, but it's dealt with by Mwane. Damian Johnson keeps it, lays it off to O'Connor, who strikes It goes wide of Lonergan's goal and will be a goal kick. And it's going to be Lonergan who just discards the cap, doesn't want it anymore, and will take the goal kick and send it forward as quickly as possible. And we'll look for the head of Brown, who manages to ricochet it forward. Jimmy Traore will guide it further forward. Gary O'Connor trying to get away from Yulmawene, but the Frenchman gets his body in the way and lays it off to Nolan now. Nolan for Wallace on the left-hand side. He spent most of the game out there on the left. They haven't really swapped him and Sedgwick, as they have done successfully so in the past. McFadden now loses the ball and Wallace can try and sprint forward. Mellor just offers himself short. He turns away from his man well. Good work. Mellor shoots into the goalkeeper's arms though from just outside the penalty area. Mellor did all the right things in the build-up to the shot as he tried to get the ball away from Jaidi. Wonderful work from the former Liverpool man, but his shot was just straight at Taylor.
Yeah, Cedric made a great run for him, and I think if there's any criticism of us, Jonathan, it's that just giving the final ball, isn't it, really? We've just not done it, and they've done it once and they're winning 1-0 because of it. You know, we just need a bit more quality up front.
It's Jones who lays this ball off to Cedric, who tries to cross, but it's a poor delivery. Just one example of what Steve Cowell has alluded to a few seconds ago with the service, the quality of delivery in towards the box for the strikers. And it looks as if Whaley might be on his way into the fray for Alan Irvine. He's just getting his shirt on down in front of us as Taylor plays the goal kick forward, trying to look for O'Connor. It's cleared by Nolan. Birmingham City 1, Preston North End 0. Birmingham on their way to the Premier League. The game ends as the scoreline is stood now. Birmingham needing a win to confirm the second automatic promotion spot. Preston need a win to keep alive any playoff hopes on the final day. It's Billy Jones on the right-hand side, tries to get away from Traore, crosses the ball in left-footed, headed away by Quadru. McKenna tries to help it forward, but his ball forward has just been looped up in the air. Nolan brings it down. Sean St Ledger, who missed a glorious chance with the goal game at 0-0 from a header, tries to play it forward. Jaidi heads it away, only as far as Wallace. McKenna now runs further forward. McKenna from a long way out. What a goal! What a fabulous goal from Paul McKenna. From nothing, McKenna with a half volley sends a bullet past Mike Taylor to give Preston hope in the final 22 minutes. And all the Preston fans who've made the trip here to St Andrews are on their feet. And can Preston turn it around and keep those playoff ambitions alive? It's Birmingham City 1, Preston North End 1, and Paul McKenna has scored a stunning goal that could be so important come the end of the season.
What a magnificent strike by Paul McKenna, and it's just brings tears to your eyes, because the lads have just been incredible the way they've just knuckled down after that injustice of going behind. But as soon as he hit it, Paul, you just knew. And what a great viewing that is, to see that back of that net bulge like that. Get in, lad. Fantastic Paul McKenna, and fantastic Preston.
Brilliant work from the captain. And well, the game is back poised with 21 minutes to go, and McKenna has done it again. Mellor just gives the ball away, and it's McKenna who's on the ball to Wallace, who's playing in a more central role with the absence of Lee Williamson, and he guides it out to Nolan on the left-hand side. He'll cross the ball in. Brown tries to bring it down, almost fell for Cedric, but for the deflection from Jimmy Traore. Mwene clears away from danger with Gary O'Connor watching on. It's O'Connor who takes it. Suddenly St Andrews is quiet again, because they haven't got the win that they need to get back in the Premier League. It's with O'Connor now, who's trying to burst his way in towards the penalty area. He's still going across the face of goal, but there's no one there to put it in as he plays it into the 6-yard box. Preston will be relieved at that, and Birmingham again trying to create another chance with Jerome. Lays it off to McFadden. Continues his run, but McFadden won't be able to reach it. Sean St Ledger will put the ball out for a throw-in, and Birmingham will look to venture forward again. Well, what an exciting 20 minutes we're going to have now with the scores level. Birmingham 1, Preston 1. McFadden with the throw, looking for a long ball in towards the box. It tries to reach Cameron Jerome, looking for a penalty. He goes down, but the referee says no. Then Stephen Carr goes down, looking at the referee, but the referee gives a free kick Preston's way. It's getting a bit fraught.
I don't know about you, Jonathan, but I'm shaking it. These last 20 minutes are just going to be unbelievable, and but you can feel the tension there, and the Preston fans are just doing a fantastic job for the team, and Billy Jones is getting some instructions off Alan Irving about his play, but he's making another substitution.
It's Gary O'Connor who's coming off, and Kevin Phillips, the club's top scorer with 13, is coming on. He's scored goals everywhere he's been as Kevin Phillips, and he's won promotion to the Premier League many times before as well with Sunderland and West Brom, and he's hoping to do so this season with Birmingham as Preston look to silence the St Andrews crowd once more. Wallace with a lovely touch in field to the goal scorer McKenna, who helps it out to Nolan. Crosses in towards the box. Mellor tries to go up for it, but the goalkeeper's able to reach it, and Taylor will send it forward early for Cameron Jerome, but Sean St Ledger's missed it. Jerome in towards the penalty area. It's just held up by Mwene. Cameron Jerome is tackled by Mwene this time, but it's still with Birmingham, and Carr on the right hand side trying to get away from Nolan. Carr gets the cross in, Nolan gets the block. It'll be a corner kick. Dangerous moments there for St Ledger and Mwene at the back.
Yeah, they're great. They're tracking back. The 10 men, they must be out on the feet, the Preston lads, and but they're just working so hard for each other, and they're doing us so proud, Jonathan.
McFadden is getting ready with a corner kick. Rob Kelly is having another long word with Simon Whaley. He was ready to come on just before McKenna's equaliser. It's the corner kick that's come in. It's headed away by Cedric. Back as far as the corner kick taker McFadden, who delivers in left-footed. It's cleared away by Mwene, only as far as Quadru, and the goalkeeper is able to gather it, and Lonergan does his job well as Quadru just runs back to his defensive position, because Preston are coming forward with Nolan. Gets it back from McKenna under pressure, trying to play it across field, and he's played it into Kevin Phillips' path, but Phillips hasn't quite got the pace to burst past Mwene. He still has the ball though on the edge of the penalty area. Phillips looking for some support, twisting and turning, and finds Cameron Jerome. Continues his run forward, but it's just blocked by Eddie Nolan, and now McKenna will bring Preston forward again, and he'll try and play a diagonal ball into the path of Nolan, but I think he just got that one a bit wrong. He apologises to his manager, who applauds the effort anyway, and it's going to be Taylor who will send the ball forward. Cameron Jerome is the target, gets his head to it. He won't find Phillips though, and Nolan will have to be careful because Kevin Phillips is watching him, and his clearance has gone straight to McFadden on the right hand side now. McFadden trying to come in field. He leaves it to Damien Johnson. The cross comes in. Cameron Jerome with the header. Birmingham City, the goal won't count, it's offside. The goal is ruled out. Many of the Birmingham fans are on their feet, some are even on the field of play, but the offside flag is up. Cameron Jerome's goal won't count, and well, there's a fan on the pitch, but that's not going to help anyone, and he's going to be tackled by Cameron Jerome, who brings the fan down. Mellor smashes the ball against him too, and now he's got to try and get back on the field of play. What an idiot. What an idiot. And now he's got to try and evade the stewards as he gets chased, and well, he's just a needless bit of moronicness really from the fan, who slips quite rightly. Justice served there. He slips and goes ass over tit straight over the advertising hoarding and into the police's arms, and that'll be hopefully the end of his afternoon of football. No need for that at all.
An absolute disgrace, and it's just the momentum off what we're doing, and Jerome might be in trouble as well, because he took him right out, then Neil blasted the ball straight out the guy, and but he's a substitution. Let's talk about the football here, Jonathan.
Yep, Sedgwick is coming off and Simon Whaley is going to come on. Farcical few moments there for this game. Just a blip, I'm sure. But as soon as that goal went in, well, the header went in from Jerome, the flag was up, so the goal was ruled out, but some of the fans spilled out onto the pitch and, well, there we go. But anyway, the game is going to get back underway. Lonergan is going to send this one forward, and Simon Whaley is going to play in a central role, really, to try and get Preston this winner with 15 minutes left on the clock. Birmingham 1, Preston 1. Sean St Ledger will send it forward. Mellor looks to flick it on. Brown was caught there, was he? Well, the play was going to be stopped by the referee, but he was going to let Birmingham try and play on. But Carr will keep it in field, and he'll run forward too. Wallace was just late there on Carr. Wallace has already been booked. The ball is out of play, and Wallace, who's on a yellow card, isn't going to be spoken to by the referee. But it's going to be Birmingham who will have to throw. Well, Birmingham know that they have to try and get a goal to win the game, to secure their place in the Premier League next season. They can't afford to wait around too much. It's Traore who tries to lay the ball off. It's cleared though only as far as Quadru for Birmingham City. Tries to spread out towards the left-hand side. It's got behind Jones. Traore crosses the ball in, but it's evaded everyone. It'll fall to McFadden on the right-hand side. He can cross back in towards the box. Cameron Jerome misses the connection on the back stick, and it goes wide. And it'll be a goal kick, and Preston just again affording a few chances they have got to be careful with, because Cameron Jerome isn't going to miss too many more, is he?
No, he's not, and just that stupid behaviour about fans just killed the game a bit. And but Simon Whaley's come on, and he's playing behind the front two, like turning to 4-4-2 and then 4-3-3 or 3-3-3. But he's great in that position, Simon. If he can pick one up, you know, hopefully he can put one, you know, make the keeper work. But it's a good move by Alan Irvine, I think.
13 minutes left of normal time. Preston need a goal. They need to win. And it's a throw into Birmingham over on the far side. It's Nolan who sends it forward. Brown tries to hold it up, but all he's done is give it to Carr. McFadden on the right-hand side now, trying to run at Nolan. Plays it in field to Phillips. His shot is blocked by Sean St Ledger, and out for a Birmingham throw-in over on the far side. Nerves and tension with everyone inside St Andrews now. It's really starting to get to the fans, but the players are still giving it a good go as a cross comes in from McFadden over on the far side. Fahey, the Birmingham goal scorer, manages to meet it. He's trying to come back in field and looks for a long-range effort. Goes over the bar from Fahey. It was really moving from Keith Fahey, who scored with a header from a McFadden delivery to put them ahead, and he came close to putting them ahead a second time, this time with a long-range effort.
Decent effort, wasn't it? He just lifted it at the last minute, thankfully, and but it's ticking now, the clock, isn't it? And just got to give it one final effort, Jonathan.
Free kick has gone Birmingham's way for a foul by Brown, I think, on Jaidi. And you reckon that Birmingham would be a bit more urgent and try and get the game underway a little bit quicker, but maybe they sense that they can settle for a point and be 2 ahead of Sheffield United going into the final day. But their last game of the season isn't easy, is it, against Reading? They'll want to really sort it out today, I would imagine, but they're not certainly playing with a lot of purpose at the moment. They're coming forward though with this throw-in, which Traore is getting ready to take. He's going to take a long throw if he can, as he gets ready. He plays it short to Fahey. Now Traore will try and cross deep in towards the far post. Phillips gets there. Cameron Jerome surely won't miss this time. Well, he has somehow. The flag was up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted, but he blazed it over. Some of the fans hadn't realised that there was a flag up, but well, Preston are really living life on the edge at the moment, and the flag would have ruled that one out, and it would have been a close call, but he put it over the bar anyway. Lonergan with the goal kick for Preston as we enter the final 10 minutes. Jaidi heads it away. McFadden brings the ball down. Is there going to be one last twist of fate and a dramatic end to this game that has been so enthralling to watch? Here is Simon Whaley now, the substitute for Preston. Plays the ball down the line for Mellor, who's giving chase. He will keep it in play, and he's got plenty to aim at as well in the box. He's trying to run past Quadru. He goes down on the edge of the penalty area. Quadru was really late there on Mellor, right on the edge of the box. He's gone down now, saying he's got an injury to his thigh. That was really good play. That's what Mellor can do. And there's another fan on the field who's chasing Paul McKenna now. And the stewards bundle him to the ground. This is getting disgraceful now, isn't it, really?
It's just, I've never seen anything like it. I've been watching football for 40 years. You can't just run on and attack. What's McKenna got involved in anything? He hasn't done. What's going on out there? It's just, they've just lost control, haven't they?
Well, he purposely went and give chase, really, for McKenna. And, well, the referee, in the end, was there to protect McKenna. But that could have been really dangerous there. He's being hoarded off now by the stewards, and well, ridiculous scenes, unbelievable at the moment. And well, you have to fear sometimes for the players' safety when things like that happen. But anyway, Preston have got a free kick, and it's Wallace and McKenna who are stood over it in a very dangerous position. It's played square here for Simon Whaley to strike. It'll fall back to Wallace on the left-hand side. He crosses it in towards the far post. Brown won't be able to reach it. Wallace, well, no, he could really have done better with that. And it'll be a goal kick for Birmingham. Another good chance there. It
was. Wallace will be really disappointed with that, and but we just got to keep going. But I just fear for the safety of my daughters over there, my friends, and the way the atmosphere has changed here because they're not getting their own way, and it's quite frightening and intimidating for all of us.
It's certainly an added worry and an added pressure that the players could do without. It's Traore who crosses into the box. It's poor though. Lonergan will reach it. Less than 8 minutes to go. Preston need a goal. It's Nolan on the left-hand side, trying to play it forward. It was blocked though by Cameron Jerome. Simon Whaley's running infield. McFadden gets away from him and McKenna. McFadden's a long way out, gets away from Mawene this time. McFadden, good save by Lonergan, down to his left-hand side, keeping it out. And he will bowl it out for Wallace now on the right-hand side, who was calling for it. And now Billy Jones is just running forward. Wallace plays it into the feet of Brown. Brown just holding it up, taking Quadru and Traore with him. Wallace tries to release Mellor as Brown tries to reach it ahead of Jaidi, but Jaidi does just enough. Damien Johnson is there ahead of Whaley, and it's a chase here for Cameron Jerome against Sean St Ledger. Sean St Ledger heads it back to his goalkeeper Lonergan, who wastes little time in bowling it out, and St Ledger now is able to run forward into the feet of Whaley. Whaley back to the Preston goal scorer McKenna, who scored a wonder goal to put Preston back on level terms after Keith Fahey had put Birmingham ahead at the start of the second half, and now Preston needing to go on to find the winning goal. Whaley is about 25 yards out, gives it back to Wallace. Wallace plays it square for Nolan, and now it's Chris Brown trying to play a ball into the box that's headed away by Jaidi. McKenna will try and reach it. He gets his head to it. Brown chests it down, leaves it to McKenna, and now Simon Whaley. Whaley is a long way out, and he goes for goal, goes for glory himself, and he pulls it wide, and it'll be Taylor who will have the goal kick. But Whaley not afraid to take on the effort.
No, he wasn't. It was too under his feet, wasn't it, Jonathan? He was never going to get a good strike on it, and it wasn't the right time. He's been encouraged to shoot, obviously that's why they brought him on, but he got that one wrong.
Whaley to McKenna. Ooh, trying to play a ball in for Mellor, but Jaidi had read it. Whaley is giving Jaidi chase now as it's played square to Carr, and he's going down the right-hand side. Whaley is with him. Carr tries to cut inside, gets the cross in. Phillips gets his head to it. The goalkeeper comes and reaches it, and he's able to claim it too, and he'll bowl it out early as well for Brown, who controls well. McKenna's in a bit of space as he's trying to run forward, and it doesn't quite reach him though. It's picked up by Mawene, who finds Billy Jones. Billy Jones for McKenna, and now Wallace on the right-hand side. Wallace plays it down the line. Billy Jones will run onto it. Jones has Quadru in front of him. He's trying to beat him and trying to cross it in. He does, and Jaidi just gets the ball caught under his feet, and then he slips as he clears. McKenna against Phillips, but Phillips gets there first. Birmingham put it out for a throw-in, and it'll be McKenna. What's happening? Moene is going to take the throw for Preston. Moene for Mellor. Now Wallace. 5 minutes left of normal time. Wallace looking for Mellor, who tries to get a ball in towards the box. There's Brown. It's saved by the goalkeeper as Brown slides in. Jaidi missed it. Brown went sliding in, but Taylor made the save. That was the closest that Preston have come since that equaliser from McKenna. Here's Jerome though at the other end for Birmingham, trying to get away from Sean St Ledger, but that was good defending from the Preston man, and it's brought forward by Nolan. Oh, it's so nerve-wracking at the moment. Nolan coming forward for Preston. He's blocked by Carr, and it gives the ball back to Birmingham City. Literally everyone is on the edge of their seat. They don't know which way this game is going to go or what is going to happen next. What is for sure is that nobody is leaving St Andrews early. Lonergan now with this long ball forward. Jaidi is under it and gets his head to it just about. It wasn't convincing though. 86 minutes on the clock. Ross Wallace with the throw. He takes it quickly and into the chest of Mellor. It was difficult for him to take, and he was caught, but play goes on. It's Moene to McKenna. Is there one last chance now for Preston? Is there a hero in the Preston ranks? It's Whaley who crosses the ball in, but it's Taylor who's able to reach it for Birmingham. It's sent out to Damien Johnson. Birmingham are coming forward now, and it's Damien Johnson for them. Remember, Birmingham, they also need the win. If they get a win, they'll be in the Premier League. But so far, they haven't been able to really test Lonergan. They've only had one effort really on goal, and they scored from it. Preston have done themselves so proud this afternoon, but it's not quite enough just yet, and time is fast running out. It's Wallace for Preston, trying to play it forward for Whaley. He was caught there by Jaidi, who really went in hard on his hip, and a yellow card is shown. And well, that was a nasty challenge from Jaidi. He's already caught Mellor with a bad one, and that was another horrendous looking challenge on Whaley.
He'd be lucky to get up from that, Will Simon. That was a horrendous challenge. He went straight through him, and the poor lad's just come on. He's absolute agony over there, and it's not the wind out of him, but it's what a great position now. A free kick, Ross Wallace special.
It's probably a little bit further out than Ross Wallace will have liked. It's what, 35 yards, 40 maybe. It's very central, but it's well within Ross Wallace's range. The coaching staff and Alan Irvine are trying to get some instructions to Wallace and McKenna, who are stood over it. Birmingham have got 4 players in the wall. Here is Wallace. Wallace strikes it, hits the bar, he scored! Ross Wallace has scored with 90 seconds of normal time remaining, and Preston North End have turned the game around at St Andrews, and Ross Wallace has scored a sublime free kick to keep alive the playoff chances, and it's going to go to the final day against Queen's Park Rangers. Don't write Preston off yet. Ross Wallace has scored a wonder goal, and Preston are on the verge of a famous victory at St Andrews. It's Birmingham City 1, Preston North End 2.
Where's Ross Wallace going?
Has Ross Wallace been yellow carded? He must have been yellow carded for his celebration, which means he's off. So Preston are going to be down to 9 men. But let's look at the free kick again. Wonderful from Ross Wallace. It hit the inside of the bar and goes in. Unfortunately, he's been sent off for his celebrations, which means it's going to be an anxious final few minutes now for Preston, down to 9 men. And well, Birmingham and St Andrews is silent, but Preston have got their noses in front for the first time, and well, there's 15 seconds of normal time remaining, and the 4th official is out with added on time. Liam Chilvers is going to come on very shortly for Alan Irvine, just to try and hang on to this famous victory. There's going to be 4 added minutes at the end, and I don't think my nerves can handle it. Steve Cowles sat alongside me with his head in his hands, and it's going to be so nerve-wracking now. St Ledger with the clearance. He doesn't get much distance on it. It's Traore on the edge of the penalty area for McFadden. McFadden now in towards the penalty area, trying to pull it back to the far post. Sean St Ledger heads it away and out for a corner kick. Liam Chilvers is going to come on very shortly. I'm not sure if he's going to come on now. He is, with his side defending, and this will be Liam Chilvers' first appearance for 13 months, having been injured, and it's been a long road to recovery for Liam Chilvers, but he is now going to come on in place of Neil Mellor for the final few minutes at the end of this game for 9-man Preston North End. And Chilvers back from injury just at the right time, but boy, has he got 3 minutes of important defending to do, Steve Cowell.
This is the longest 3 minutes of my life. I just can't believe it. I can hardly speak. I mean, Jonathan, you just take it.
It's Chilvers with who comes on now to defend as Birmingham get ready with this corner kick. It's McFadden on the left-hand side. He delivers in towards the box. The heads come in, but it goes over the bar, and Preston will have a goal kick. 91 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. The fourth official said there'll be 4 minutes added on at the end. Birmingham and the Birmingham fans were all set to party a place in the Premier League when Keith Fahey had put them ahead just before the hour mark, heading home from a James McFadden cross. But Preston kept their heads up and were brought right back into it with a stunning goal from Paul McKenna from nothing, from long range. And then with injury time approaching, Ross Wallace stepped up with a free kick which just went straight past Mike Taylor via the post and sent the Preston fans into raptures, silenced St Andrews, but now has set up such a nervous final 2 minutes of added on time for Alan Irvine and his coaching staff. It's Birmingham who are continuing to try and pepper the Preston penalty area. It's Jaidi who's been almost as a extra striker as it's played back into the box. Phillips goes up for it, but he doesn't really get anywhere near the ball, and the referee points to a goal kick, and Lonergan and Preston are just going to try and run the clock down. Alan Irvine has seen his Preston players do everything that has been asked of them this afternoon. They've defended well, they've taken their chances, they've had a little bit of luck and fortune along the way, but Alex McLeish and Birmingham City have been stopped in their tracks by this Preston side who sense that momentum is really with them. 6-0 winners last Saturday, in a position of victory here against Birmingham City, who would seem destined for the Premier League. Preston do not know when to lie down in this playoff chase this season. It's Whaley for McKenna. McKenna plays it down the line. Billy Jones is going to get there ahead of Quadru, and he's going to keep it in the corner. He plays it back to Whaley, and now McKenna. Well, Preston can just keep the passes going because time is running down. There's only 20 seconds of added on time left according to the clock on the screen here in St Andrews, and still Preston have got the ball. It's with Billy Jones. Quadru eventually clears it. Time is almost up according to the clock here, and there goes the full-time whistle. Preston North End have got a fantastic victory here at St Andrews this afternoon. They've done everything that was asked of them. They did it the hard way when Birmingham City went ahead thanks to Keith Fahey's headed goal after James McFadden had delivered a good ball in towards the penalty area. But as the Premier League party was all set to kick off in earnest here at St Andrews, Preston struck back, and Paul McKenna scored a fabulous goal to pull Preston level with the best part of 20 minutes left in the game. Then it was nervous and it was full of tension until the final few minutes when Preston were awarded a free kick for a nasty challenge on Jaidi from Jaidi on Ross Wallace, and well, Ross Wallace got back up on his feet and he took the free kick and it went in off the post to put Preston ahead and to earn a vital 3 points that will set up such an exciting final day for Preston North End next weekend. A game full of drama, full of goals, full of tension, but Preston have done it. They have got the victory, and the Preston players go over to the travelling fans inside St Andrews to celebrate with them. And well, Steve Cowell, what an afternoon.
I'm lost for words, Jonathan. I mean, you've said it all for me, and I don't think I've been this emotional for a long time. And the players are over there with the fans. I mean, what an incredible moment, what an incredible game. And they had every setback you could think of. Yeah, and a goal against a run of play, and a guy running on the pitch, and somebody running on attacking Paul McKenna. The injustice of the sending off, and he finished the game with 9 men. And to come here, you know, and to win 2-1 with 9 men, unbelievable.
Amazing scenes here at St Andrews. Fantastic result for Preston North End. Full-time score is Birmingham City 1, Preston North End 2.
Ross, congratulations. What a result for Preston. Can you believe the way you turned that game around?
No, obviously it was a difficult game. We knew that coming here, but you know, we knew we were going to get chances at some point. And you know, it was a great strike from McKenna. You know, and reminds us, you know, I've caught it well.
So grab a word with Paul. Their fantastic first goal. But at 1 down, did you feel your chances of winning this game might have gone?
I thought throughout the game, you know, we were comfortable. You know it's going to be hard work coming here. The crowd are unbelievable here every time you come, and they've got great Premiership quality, not only Championship quality. So we know we're going to be up against it. But I thought we handled ourselves brilliantly, and you know, we knew we had to come here and get a result if we had any chance of making the playoffs. So yeah, the lads dug in, and you know, sometimes they go in, and thankfully for today they did for us.
Well, tell us what went through your mind when you picked up that loose ball.
Ross just, you know, give me a bit of space, give me the ball early, and you know, you've got to take a chance sometimes, and thankfully for me, like I said, it flew in the top corner.
Well, that was a great first goal. And Ross, have you hit too many better than the second one?
No, not really. I just got it well. You know, I scored a few early in the season, but you know, it's just one of those. You know, you just, as soon as you hit it, you know it's going to go in the net. But you know, we played well. Thought you know, we dug in there. You know, they had a few chances. They had us on the ropes for 10 or 15 minutes in the second half there, but you know, we managed to get through that, and you know, managed to grab a win at the end.
Now, Ross, what is it about these celebrations? I understand you've got into trouble with managers and so on for taking your shirt off before in celebration.
Yeah, obviously when I was at Sunderland, Mr. Keane wasn't too happy with me, but you know, it was just one of those things, you know, just a spur of the moment, and you know, hopefully the lads can go and do it without me in the last game.
Any small regrets though now, because you do miss that last vital game?
Yeah, it's also a little bit of regret, you know, missing the game, but you know, the lads are buzzing in there. You know, I don't know what the scores were, but you know, hopefully it'll give us a chance in the next game.
Well, you've got a chance. You've got a chance of top 6 finish. How do you rate your chances going into that last game?
Like you just said, we're missing a couple of key players. I think, you know, Willow's come in and done great for us, and got sending off. It looked a bit dubious from me. I didn't see much of it, but and also, you know, missing Ross. He's created a lot for us this season. So you know, there's lads who are waiting, you know, to get the chance, and hopefully they'll come in and do the business, and yeah, it'll all go well for us.
Well, congratulations on the goals, congratulations on the result. Paul, you're also the Powerade man of the match. Ross, if you did the honours first place.
Cheers, Paul.
Well done, guys.
Cheers, man. Thank you.